76ers systematically went about the business of losing games on purpose. They said to their audience, the paying customer, we're going to stink, we don't care, because it's about championship or nothing.
Championship or nothing.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? By defeating the 76ers 4-0, the first ever sweep in 15 playoff series between these two squads.
Simmons, they cleared out ball. Back this way in. Spins on Gallinari. Gives it up. Oh, he's right there.
Trade Ben Simmons. Trade Ben Simmons. Trade Ben Simmons.
They close out this series in 6 games, winning on Philly's home floor.
Tobias Harris over Pete.
Tatum fires away, puts it in. 51 for Jason Tatum.
The process died, and the Sixers didn't even put up a fight. Joel Embiid stunk, was terrible. James Harden stunk, was terrible.
2-point game. Ball knocked loose, and Maxey gets knocked down. Hart takes it away. Out top to DiVincenzo. His shot won't go. Hartenstein the rebound. Hartenstein gets it out to Anunoby. DiVincenzo a 3. Bang! Bang!
A little bit disappointed. I'm hurt. It's another Philly heartbreak, so I'm kind of like accustomed to it already. So.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. There have been a lot of tough moments for Philly fans the past 11 years, so today I thought I'd do what 76er fans do best and complain about our own team. Here are the top 5 biggest mistakes of the trust the process era. Number 5, drafting 3 centers in a row. So Sam Hinkie was the father of the process, as he kicked off the 76ers rebuild in 2013 when he traded away the franchise's best player, Drew Holiday, for the number 6 pick in that year's draft to select Nerlens Noel. Hinkie was very vocal in his strategy at the time, that the 76ers would be tanking for high draft picks and that they would use those draft picks to draft the best player available, regardless of position. This would result in the 76ers drafting centers the next 2 years in the draft as well, with Embiid going number 3 overall in 2014 and Jahlil Okafor going number 3 overall in 2015. Embiid would obviously be a great pick as he would go on to win an MVP with the Sixers, but Okafor just wasn't cut out for the modern day NBA. Noel and Okafor would get buried in the lineup behind Embiid. I think Hinkie always thought that if it didn't work out, he would be able to trade these guys away for high value draft picks, but they ended up trading Noel away for Justin Anderson and 2 second-round picks that never turned into anything, and then they traded Okafor away for Trevor Booker. I don't think that's the value Hinkie had in mind when he was making those top 10 selections. In any draft, you can always look at the players picked after your selection and say we should have taken him instead, and in the 2015 draft, they could have taken Kristaps Porzingis or traded back and got Devin Booker. At the end of the day, taking the best player available did not work out well for the Sixers. Number 4, signing Al Horford. As great of a player Joel Embiid was early on in his career, he always did seem to struggle when being guarded by Al Horford. So in 2019, when Big Al became a free agent, the 76ers decided to throw a huge bag of money at him to pry him away from their division rival Boston Celtics, giving Al Horford a 4-year, $109 million contract. At the time, people did have questions about his fit alongside Embiid and also the scale of the contract. But this offseason, the 76ers lost Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick and needed to make some sort of big splash in free agency. Even though his numbers would be somewhat similar, the critics would be right. Horford would not be a good fit alongside Embiid. He would have his best success when Embiid was either injured or off the floor. When the two played together, he was usually relegated to standing at the three-point line. Horford was always known as a great locker room guy, but even that didn't turn out well in Philly.
And there's some stuff going on in our locker room, and we'll keep that internal.
The 76ers' 2020 bubble year would end in the first round, where they would get swept by Horford's former team, the Boston Celtics. A couple years later, Big Al would find his way back to Boston, where he would finally win that elusive championship. Number 3. Trading Mel Bridges. It's rare in pro sports that someone gets drafted by their hometown team, but you do have examples like LeBron in Cleveland, Derrick Rose in Chicago, and while not quite at the level of those other guys, in 2018, the 76ers drafted Mel Bridges out of Villanova.
And there's not a better storybook ending here. I mean, what does it mean, Mel, to be able to play in the same place where you grew up and you've watched your mom work for years?
I mean, it means the world to me, you know.
It's amazing. It's an experience I'll never forget, and I'm so excited he's coming home to be part of our Sixers family. It's amazing. Go Sixers!
The Sixers would ruin this heartwarming moment moments later as they would trade Bridges away to the Phoenix Suns. There he would play on a finals team and develop into a nice 3-and-D player. Later on Brooklyn, he would even prove to be a number 1 option for about a year and a half. So what did the Sixers get back that they thought was worth trading the hometown kid away for? Zaire Smith and a future first-round pick. Zaire Smith would only play 13 total games in his entire NBA career. His story is a video in itself, as unfortunately for Smith, he would deal with injuries and a severe food allergy that would derail his NBA career. They would use that future first-round pick as part of the Tobias Harris trade later that year. Spoiler alert, this won't be the last Tobias Harris mentioned in this video. Just a few days ago, Bridges was traded to the New York Knicks for 5 future first-round picks, showing the value that he has in this league. And unfortunately for the Sixers, making a rival team and Eastern Conference contender even stronger. And now I'm really starting to wonder why I thought it was a good idea to make this video. It really makes you think what would have happened if the 76ers would have kept Bridges, as they've been looking for a guy like him ever since. Number 2, trading up and not taking Tatum. So like we talked about earlier, draft mistakes happen. You're not always going to make the best pick every single time. But when you trade up for a number 1 overall pick and select the guy that forgets how to shoot, and the guy that falls to number 3 ends up becoming one of the best players in the league, that's when it becomes a mistake. In the 2017 NBA draft, the 76ers originally had a number 3 pick, but traded a future first-round pick that ended up becoming Romeo Langford to move up to the number 1 spot. At the time, it seemed like the last stage in the process, pairing Fultz with Joel Embiid and last year's previous number 1 overall pick, Ben Simmons. Fultz had a great year at the University of Washington, propelling him to be the number 1 overall prospect on most people's draft boards that year. But the fact that Boston was willing to trade down shows that he wasn't some can't-miss prospect. You would never see someone trade out of a pick for it like LeBron James or Victor Wembanyama. Unfortunately for Fultz, he was dealing with a shoulder injury his rookie year, and when he returned to action, it looked like he was a kid learning to shoot the ball for the first time. Markelle would only play 33 total games for the Sixers, the team that took him with the number 1 pick in the draft before they traded him away to Orlando. Meanwhile, Jason Tatum, the number 3 overall pick, who Boston wanted all along in the process, ended up becoming a star. Tatum's been to 5 All-Star teams in his first 7 years, made 3 first-team All-NBAs, and of course was a pivotal piece in Boston's 2024 title run. I really wanted to put this draft blunder at number 1, but in that Fultz to Orlando trade, the 76ers got back a future first-round pick that would end up becoming Tyrese Maxey in 2020. So some things do have a silver lining to them. Number 1.
Tobias Harris over me?
I think things have been misconstrued on what actually happened in the 2019 free agency, but one thing is for certain, Jimmy Butler was a very popular player in Philly for as little as his stint lasted with the team. That 2018-2019 season was the best team we've had in the Embiid era, and you gotta wonder if that Kawhi shot doesn't go in, do things go differently for the franchise. The team cashed in a lot of assets to bring in Butler and Harris. In total, they traded Robert Covington, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, 2 future first-round picks and 2 future second-round picks, only to have Butler leave the following free agency, and they would have to overpay to keep Tobias Harris, giving him a 5-year, $180 million contract. Harris would become a victim of his own monetary success, as his time in Philadelphia would come with a lot of ups and a lot of downs. The Philly fans would always expect more from Toby. Although he was clearly talented, he just didn't have that killer instinct like Jimmy Butler did. And since they were traded for around the same time, and Harris received the huge offseason extension instead of Butler, I think he was always a reminder of what we didn't have. I'm sure Philly fans will miss him when he leaves this offseason though.
The best part of tonight ending is that we never have to see Tobias Harris again.
But let's go back to 2019, a very pivotal year for the Sixers. When Jimmy Butler first left, I heard a lot of reports saying it was based off his fit basketball and personality-wise next to Ben Simmons. In recent years, things have came out that showed it was really the management and coaching aspects of the Sixers that Butler distrusted and drove him out of Philly.
At what point did you realize that? At what point did...
And that fucking meeting in the office, and I told you that. I told you.
When Brett Brett brings me, you,
Joe and Ben.
This is pre-Tobias trade.
Yeah. Nothing's getting accomplished. Nobody's saying nothing to anybody. And we just sitting in here watching film, and you can literally hear the thing just clicking. And we all just looking around.
There's so much things we still don't know about what happened in 2019, but what we do know is that the incompetence of the franchise drove Jimmy out, and we still haven't been able to recover since. Even after being so negative in this video, I'm still excited to see what the team can do to build around Maxey and Embiid this upcoming free agency.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments where you disagree with my list, and I'll see you guys next time.
And no matter what, you must always, always trust the process.